Wednesday, and good morning, New York. Good morning down here too. It's 10:42 down here, makes it 11:42 up there. Well, it was an interesting night, a Tuesday. Right after I guess most everybody has seen the Donald Trump dance-a-thon that he put on in one of his rallies, where he, for 39 minutes, played music and kind of swayed and danced a little bit here and there. Now, I got nothing. I heard the explanation for it. He does this all the time, and he did it because he thought people were going to leave. He didn't do it to keep them there because people were getting sick, and it was really, just trying to figure the situation out. And I don't, I'm not really going to get on his case about that, but he does this all the time. Apparently, he does it in his house and on the deck at Mar-a-Lago and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean he's crazy. I do the same thing. In my case, I'm crazy, but that's besides it. I just don't think that was the time or place for it. On stage at a rally, if he was trying to get people to leave because of the heat and whatnot, by getting them up and dancing, he was generating more heat. So I'm not sure how that worked out for him. I know before that, 2 people had collapsed with heat-related disease situations, I guess. I don't know. They didn't say, it just said 2 people collapsed. Yesterday afternoon, his Truth Social dropped, like $3? It's down a few dollars this morning, too. Apparently, nobody knows exactly what's going on with it. My guess is people saw him dancing on stage and figured that was it. Game over. The little men with the white jackets are coming any minute now. And that's a possibility. I don't know. I think somebody's playing with that. I really do, and that's making us players getting played. That doesn't make us. It's making us getting played. And I really don't like that. But that's him. That's Donald Trump. In a couple of weeks, my anxiety will tip over, and I'll either be really relaxed and have to find something else to talk about. Although we'll probably be talking about revolutions and uprisings and things like that if Trump loses. But we'll wait and see. It's gonna. They still say it's going to take a couple of days to count all the votes, and there's a lot of discussion about the Electoral College. The reasoning behind it and everything else is somewhat outdated. I'm not sure, but what it is it makes your vote less important. If you live in Delaware, your vote really basically, if you vote, the state could go, vote all Harris, and it wouldn't make a difference. If it's all about the Electoral College. You go after the states with the most votes, and if you can. That's why. That's how Clinton lost against Trump, but won the popular vote by 8 million votes. When he went up against Biden, he lost both, which is saying pretty much how people felt back then. They were sick and tired of him and his silliness. But apparently, based on polls and stuff like this, people are willing to say, well, okay, silliness is not really cool, but a dictator is really not a bad thing. It's a good idea. And this, I'm telling you, since the American Revolution, where people did not want to declare the independence because they wanted to be ruled by the king, there's been a conflict about that, about democracy in the United States. Uh, the American Nazi Party was very big during the war. It wasn't some of it was very militaristic and took action against was all spies and stuff like that. Some of it was people that just thought it was it was better. There was I don't know whether this quote is real, so I'm not going to call it a quote, but I remember reading someplace that there was supposedly President John Kennedy said at one time that communism in its truest form might be a better form of government than democracy. Now, but that it can't exist because of greed and what have you, and that's true of anything. You get you put the fascists in power, and you put Trump's people in power. Look who's voting for. Look who's all the billionaires, the guys he gave the breaks to, and everything, putting up billions of dollars to get him elected. There are going to be a lot of pissed off people if he doesn't get elected, and there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are really sad, pissed off that if he does get elected. Now, I have no idea what's going to happen if he gets elected. I do have a vague idea what's going to happen if he doesn't get elected. He'll be going around saying that he won the election no matter how badly he loses, okay? It's just in his nature not to admit defeat, because he believes that it's impossible for him to lose because everybody loves him. And I can tell you that I do know some people that like him. They're friends of mine, and they surprise me tremendously by the fact that they like him. And I'm not sure exactly why, but I think they're white supremacists, and that really surprises me because some of them have black friends. This is it's like, there are black people that support Trump, and he's a white supremacist. But the same thing existed in South Africa during the apartheid. There were colored people or black people or people of color, whatever you want to, however is the proper term, who wanted apartheid to stay and still think it was cool. I don't know how you get that logic. I guess you've never really truly experienced the freedoms in this country that you're entitled to. See, the word entitled causes a lot of problems in the United States because people think they're entitled to a job, or they're not. You have to earn everything in the United States, okay? But you have the opportunity to earn it. You can go after stuff that's basically you shouldn't be able to go after, jobs that are not really at your skill level. But you can pursue them. There's no law saying you can't. That's what with the Liberty Act, where being free comes in. You can marry a Puerto Rican, Colombian, black, Turkish, whatever you want. You can do pretty much anything you want within the guidelines of the local law enforcement and whatnot. Can't go out and hold up banks and stuff like that. But you can start a business. I started a successful business with nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it worked out. I had to file my personal bankruptcy because it's a different story. I was helping somebody out and it just didn't work out. I spent too much money in the wrong places. But my business was successful enough for me to be able to come down here to Colombia. It's all about, I don't know how to say that. It's all about choices. I mean, you have choices. You can't, you're not going to be like, you can try to improve your lifestyle. If you're born in a ghetto, you can try to get out of that ghetto. And if you are smart enough, you can get some more, you can get more further away from it, but it's possible to just plain simply work your way out of it. It's probably a pretty dangerous thing to do, because from what I understand, the gangs don't like it when you go out there and you work your way out of it, you know. But it's there. The opportunity is there for you to try, at least, you know. Under Trump's, under a fascist or communist rule, when you're born, it's like a caste system almost. You're born in a certain level, and you're never going to go beyond that level, you know. You know, you're not going to be able to marry a rich woman and start your own business that you had the idea for, but she supplied the financial for it, and it turned out to be a great idea and a great business, and you both benefit from it. You know, but Trump doesn't want to do that. Okay. I don't know. There's a big interview coming up with Kamala on Fox. You got to watch that, I think. I don't know where I'll find it down here. Fox isn't that popular except for sports down here, and that we don't get a Fox channel. We get Fox Sports on ESPN. It's a very strange setup they have down here. I've got like six ESPNs, and I can watch the same game on 5 of them sometimes. You know, depends what it is. All right. Trump was interviewed by the BBC. Now, those of you that don't understand, BBC is British Broadcasting Corporation. It's it spends a lot of time on European and English news, so I don't really watch it all the time. But he did this interview, and this interviewer was really, really good. He wouldn't let him get away with his bullshit, his so-called weave. He calls it weave when he bounces from one thing to the next in the middle of a conversation. He says it's because he's got so many things on his mind. I think it's because he doesn't know the answer, and that's exactly what happened when he was confronted with some questions about the economy and the effect of his tariffs on the individuals in this country, because the tariffs are going to raise the taxes on the products that they're taxing, and that's just simple math, okay? But then he says, well, they'll be forced to build factories in the United States. I says, that's not going to happen overnight either. You'll be out of office before that happens, even if they decide to build in the United States. You just can't move a corporation into the United States. And then he said, well, they won't be paying taxes. You know, what's the purpose of them being in but their employees will be paying taxes. The people they hire will be paying taxes. And may not help the state that they go into, because the state that they go into may not have enough qualified people, so they're going to import qualified people, and they'll get tax breaks. It's amazing how stupid people are, you know. But that's a good interview to read. I read it in I think I read it on CNN. I'm not sure. It could have been in Rolling Stone magazine too. I don't know. I get all that stuff online in the morning, and I read it, and I don't pay it. I read it and pick out the important points, but I don't read the small details, you know, and I don't remember some of it. That's just old age coming at me again. But anyhow, if you value your right to, let's see. If you value your right to go to the grocery store on Sunday, you can't vote for Trump. Okay? If you value your right to criticize the police or the fire department or the water company or whatever for not doing things the way as efficiently as you think they can. You can't do that under Trump. All right, he's already set up procedures to have you arrested. If you protest, you'll be shot. People say, "Oh no, that won't happen." The thing is that it's not just Donald Trump. There are a lot of crazy people in this country who would jump at the chance to do this. You know, because in a totalitarian society, you gain power by how violent you can be. Think about that for a while. Look at what happens in Africa and in other countries around the world that are totalitarian. South America. You have to be, to maintain power, you have to be more violent than the most violent person in the country. All right, listen. I hope I made some sense. I hope you enjoyed today. I will be back tomorrow. Same time, same channel. So everybody, have a good day.